It's hard not to notice the term Megadungeon circulating through social media more often of late. Why not? We're living in an age of both resurgence and renaissance. Resurgence for those, like myself, who have been pining for decades to talk about these things again, to finally have the time and the people to play with. Renaissance, because this tabletop role-playing medium is more popular than ever before. So welcome, if you're new to the hobby. And welcome, if you, like me, have been here since the 70s, still trying to come to terms with our forever fascination with the elusive and, as of yet, undefinable Megadungeon. What is a Megadungeon really? It's not a rulebook concept. It's not a formal design pattern. It's more like a philosophy, a feeling. The same instinct that makes humans want to explore, and the same instinct that makes cats squeeze themselves into ever so tiny containers. They do it because they can. We do it because, well, we can. And honestly, why do we even call it a dungeon? A dungeon in the real world is a cramped, miserable room, presumably underground. A place where children are told not to go by nervous parents. Or by a den of gamers who have yet to be flooded out. Everywhere else, underground spaces are caverns, tunnels, and mines. But dungeon became the word because Dungeons and Dragons made it popular. And because a dungeon, a human or otherwise wrought structure, can be mapped evenly on graph paper, which early wargamers loved. The shoe fit, so we kept wearing it. Then there's the mega part. The word mega is pure 70s terminology, folks. Everything was mega back then. Mega hits, mega stores, mega corporations, mega headaches. TSR tried Super Dungeon, but super wasn't super enough. Mega was the word of the day. It sounded big, bigger than big. Big enough to satisfy that human urge to explore something vast. Since then, we never really forgot about Megadungeons. The Japanese have been telling us stories about them for years. If anything, Delicious in Dungeon might have whet our appetite again, so to speak. They've been quietly keeping the flame alive while we were busy arguing about definitions. And interestingly enough, the Japanese were secretly in agreement with TSR. They don't usually say Mega Dungeon. They say Super Dungeon. Because super is their go-to intensifier. Mega exists in Japanese, sure, but it's usually reserved for things on the scale of Godzilla. So, in a way, they kept the original TSR terminology alive without even trying. It's odd how cultures echo each other without ever coordinating. And that's the real heart of it. Our fascination with exploring has never left us. We've conquered almost everything on Earth except the stars in the fourth dimension. So we create new worlds for our fantasy characters to explore. And if we're going to explore something imaginary, it might as well be big. So, mega it is. Which is ironic in a way. With game systems and imagination that allow you to explore open worlds and even universes, we still put ourselves into something. For the record, Mega wasn't just a fad. It was another example of something humans do constantly. We latch onto labels, we elevate them, and then we pretend they explain the whole phenomenon. Humans can't resist putting terms on things. We love labels. We love categories. We love building boxes so we can explain why we don't want to be in boxes. George Carlin, the comedian, had a whole bit about this. About kids who were once just a little strange. If he were alive today, he'd probably add these acronyms to his already extraordinary list. ADD, ADHD, HADD, and whatever else we invent. Not because the behavior of the child was anything other than a little strange, but because we needed a label to justify it. We made our own box, and in those cases, sometimes expensive boxes. Gamers do the same thing. OSR, narrative games, E&D, crunchy, rules light, player-facing, homebrew, and of course, the Megadungeon. We create terms to define freedom, and in doing so, we limit it. It spirals into nonsense if you think too hard about it. Just like the Star Wars is fantasy crowd chanting into the void. You can't define a feeling about something that doesn't exist, but humans will absolutely try. Maybe the Megadungeon isn't about the dungeon at all. Maybe it's about us, and the boxes we build, and the ones we try to escape. So, a Megadungeon, which could just as easily be a super dungeon, is really just a container, a box. A place a cat can and will explore. And guess what? We're the cats. The thing is, you can't deny the fascination. We want to explore. We want to push deeper. We want to see what's around the next corner. 'Cause you can never tell what goes on down below. This dungeon might be bigger than you or I know. This might be a cavern like I've read in books, connected to one of those underground brooks. If you know this reference, good on you. But the Megadungeon, for all its promise, is still one note. It's not a video game with gamification elements and worldwide glory. It's a long-term commitment inside a very, very large box. And eventually, even the biggest box starts to feel like, well, a box? Yet, dungeon pundits will still hammer out their definitions, including the likes of me. Squeezing out others, trying to put their ideas ahead of the ideal, which is really just their ideal. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Regardless, we will still dig deeper and venture further into the dark, trying to illuminate our audience about what this phenomenon of fantasy is all about, at least until the torch dies out. And maybe that's why we keep coming back to them. We keep coming back to them. We keep coming back. Perhaps we build Megadungeons because we're trying to understand ourselves.